It is hot in here. All right. So I'm going to wait a minute here and then get started. For the millions who will be tuning in tonight. No, this is great practice for me. I love cooking anyway. We have to eat dinner, and figured I'd show you how to make one of my favorite fish dishes. So this is, I meant to do mahi, but they didn't have any mahi right now for some reason. So I've got this beautiful halibut. It's one big fillet. It's going to be for two. So I'm going to blacken this, which is one of my favorite ways to do kind of those light, flaky types of fishes, because it can just add so much flavor, right? And so, yeah, I'm going to get started. So let me set the fish aside right here. I kind of want to show you what we're going to be making today. And so this is the inspiration for the dish right here. You can see it's blackened. It's got, sits on a coconut cilantro rice, and we have a mango and avocado salsa. The one difference, I'm going to be making a green goddess sauce, and this is a teaser for one of the dishes on my upcoming pop-up dinner that's going to be later in June. That has not yet been announced, but the theme is going to be Caribbean inspired, so I'm really, really excited about that one. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty quick cook. The first thing we're going to do is get the rice going. So this is a cilantro, cardamom, lime, jasmine rice. I've already pre-soaked the rice for about 20 minutes. I rinsed it off really, really well because we want to get some of the excess starches out of it so it's not too sticky. So I've got my pot right here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. There we go. Okay, we're going to get that hot. And let me go to this other awesome camera view I've got here. So you can see I've got a couple different cameras going on here, just experimenting with some stuff. I like to use butter. It adds a great flavor to the rice, I think, but you can also use olive oil if you like. I'm just gonna put one little tab in there. And when that melts, I'm gonna go ahead and toast the rice with the cardamom first. So we're gonna get started on that. And then in the meantime, have you ever had a green goddess sauce? So this is really interesting. There's, I'll show you a little bit of the board here. And I've got all of my herbs set up for you here. There's a lot that goes into this, but it's really pretty easy because the food processor is going to do all the work for us here. And so let's check on our butter over here. Okay, get this sucker melted. Now, one of the tricks to get this rice done a little bit quicker is to have water boiling ready to go rather than put rice in with cold water and bring it up to a boil. That's not the best way to cook your rice because let's face it, you know, bringing the water to the boil is different on every stove. So your time is going to be different on every stove. So starting it at the boil gives you a lot more control. I'm gonna have a sip of beer on that. All right, let's see how we're looking over here. All right, let me switch views for you. Okay, so here we go. So we've got the butter melted in here. We're gonna take our pre-rinsed rice and we're just gonna briefly toast this, maybe about a minute. Pre-toasted rice is so wet, or pre-rinsed rice rather. I'm gonna go ahead and now take my 2 cardamom pods right here and put those in. We're gonna stir this up really well, get all that butter incorporated. Okay, while that's working there for a second, you'll notice that there's also going to be some lime and some cilantro. That goes in later. If you put it in now, the lime is just going to wilt and rather the lime will turn brown and the cilantro will just kind of wilt on you. So just wait until the end on that, okay? All right, let's get over here and, okay, we can hear our rice starting to do a little thing. Now we have something else special going in this rice, and that is coconut milk, right? It's a coconut cilantro rice. And so typically with jasmine, you're at about 1.5 liquid to rice ratio. So I'm going to put a cup of water and a half a cup of the coconut in here. And that is just going to be delicious. Stirring this up for another couple seconds. Okay. All right. Well, that's toasting. I'm going to go ahead and over here, you might not be able to see it, but I'll be right back in a second. I am getting my water. Okay. All right. So I've got about a cup of water. That's going to go in now. I've got my salt. And last but not least, I've got my full fat coconut milk. Okay, we're just gonna give that a good combination stir here. Get that all playing nice together. Okay, let's put our top on. We're gonna bring this to a boil. And when it's at the boil, we're gonna turn the heat all the way down to its lowest possible setting and don't touch it for 10 minutes. And that's what we're gonna do there, okay? So while that's working on the boil, we're gonna go ahead and get our fish kind of set up and ready to cook. And so here's this beautiful piece of fish I was telling you about before. You can see that. That's a really nice cut there. Bring all my goodies over. So I'm gonna use a very similar method that I used in my last video, and that was putting the spice into an oil mixture, because I feel like it just really helps coat and protect your protein a lot better than just sprinkling on a bunch of dry rub. Okay, so here we've got our blackened seasoning, which I'll have the recipe for, and I'm gonna go ahead and put probably about half of that right on the pan. I'm gonna take my olive oil, I'm gonna make a big old puddle. Can you see that? No, you can't see that because I'm doing it over here. This is the trials and tribulations of being your own camera person, right? All right, we'll start with that there. Okay, we're just gonna go and mix this up. Oh, it's looking good. Now, one of the traditional ways to cook blackening, especially when you're down south, is with clarified butter. So this is olive oil that's going on the fish, but I will be using clarified butter in our cast iron to actually give it that beautiful crust. Okay, in goes the fish. Swish that around. All right, looks like we are out of boil now, because remember, we had boiling water. That's gonna go all the way down. Hit my timer just to kind of keep track here, because I'm talking to you guys, so. All right. And fill in the gaps there and turn it over. Oh yeah, beautiful. Okay, and just get that totally coated, sides and everything. All right, we're just gonna let that sit there because this is gonna cook really, really fast. I'm gonna set this aside, ditch the glove, and now we're gonna go to work on this green goddess sauce. So this is fun, really, really easy. I've got my mixer right here. This is my my Cuisinart, and the first thing we're gonna do is wipe down our station because we got a little bit of that fish magma going on here. Okay, so I put an avocado in mine. It just adds a nice little creaminess, and I'm also gonna need avocado for, get rid of the pit, my salsa. So this is not a great avocado, unfortunately. Do I have another one? Let me see if I have another avocado. I don't think I do. So let's go ahead and remove that. Sometimes when you're cooking, this happens, right? You just got to work with what you got to work with. And I'm going to scoop this half out and put it right in here. It's fine. So it gets brown like that a lot of times in the stores, just from people squeezing it, you know, a little too much. So try not to do that. I'm going to take the other half out and kind of set this aside for right now. Okay, so we've got our avocado right here, and in goes the herbs. So we're starting with parsley. So we've got about a cup of parsley here. We're just gonna kind of pack that down. We've got some cilantro, that's about a half a cup. We've got a little bit of green onion, tarragon. We have some dill and some mint. You can see this is a real flavor bomb. And we've got garlic right there. Okay, let's set these aside. All right, so this is full fat yogurt, and we're gonna go ahead and put this in right on top. Kind of spread it around there a little bit. Okay. All right. There we go. Don't forget salt. Gotta have salt, right? You can always salt more later. So I'm just gonna start with, you know, probably about just under a teaspoon of salt for me. And I like to put a little bit of agave in there. I love this stuff. I've been using this wherever you kind of have a honey sweetener or a sugar sweetener. It's already dissolved in liquid form, of course, and just a little bit, just to add a nice little touch of sweetness, and a little bit of black pepper. Now, before we blend this up, we have one more step to do, and that is the lemon. So we have 1 whole lemon here, and we're going to zest the lemon right in. Zesting a lemon. I guess this is where you're like supposed to sing a song or something, right? Lemon zest is one of nature's most powerful tools for adding that bite of acidity, you know, from a lemon. And it doesn't tend to disappear in food like sometimes just lemon juice alone will, but we are going to use lemon juice. So I'm gonna cut this in half and try using one of these whenever you're squeezing lemon in so you don't get any pits. Okay. I've already pre-rolled this lemon too. You've probably seen me do that before. And that's where you kind of like roll the lemon on the board to loosen up, break up all those cells inside. Just give yourself a little bit more juice. Now the one ingredient I'm not going to put in yet, which I may or may not need, is water. So you can use water to thin this out, and we'll see if it needs it. I'm going to bring my mixer over here. There we go. I think that'll work. You can see that. Awesome. Okay. Lock that on. Here's our top. And let's just give it a whirl, shall we? Wish I could play Jeopardy music right now, but you probably can't even hear me. Okay, let's see how we're looking. So this is pretty thick. I'm going to give you guys a little look-see here. Wow, this looks really beautiful. Look at that. You see that? Right up to the camera. Okay, I'm going to taste a little bit of this. Oh my God. That is so freaking good. But I want this a little bit thinner for this dish, so I'm going to add some water. Start with that and hit it again on high. That's so good. Okay, let's see how we're looking. A little bit thinner still. Too creamy. I want this more like a sauce. Now, if you left it right here, this would be an absolute incredible dip, right? Think of anything you'd use hummus for. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I want. Okay. Clean up as we go, right? A little bit. All right. One last check. Wow, look at that. Can you see that? I don't know if it's I don't know if you can see that. How about here? It's nice and green. Oh, that's really good. So this is going to add a nice creamy herbiness to go along with that kind of spicy fish. So it's just a perfect combination, in my opinion. Okay. So let's go ahead and spoon this into a bowl. Okay. And you can use a blender as well. You would get an even finer probably chop on all of the herbs if you use like a high-powered blender, but you can see that looks pretty darn delicious. Okay, let's set this aside. We'll set it over here. Okay, our rice is at 7 minutes. Kind of clean our board down here a little bit. We're getting close. I'm going to go ahead and turn the burner now on. I'm going to move the rice, actually. That way you'll be able to see me cook the fish. So I'm going to go ahead and move the rice over here. bring you back here. Okay, we're getting the hang of this. So we only have one more thing to make other than the fish, and we'll probably go ahead and do that now. So I don't think I'm going to actually use this avocado. It's just got too many brown spots on it, and you know, that's the thing about cooking is just, you know, be flexible. You don't have to use every single ingredient that I show you. So I'm going to go ahead and ditch that. We'll just go with a kind of more mango, not avocado salsa, okay? All right, so we're going to turn the heat on here. Very important. When we're doing blackening, we want to do it at medium heat. We don't want to scorch the spices. That's super important. A lot of times people think blackening is, you know, burning the outside crust, and that is not the case. So don't do that here, please. Okay, so that's getting warm there. And while that's getting warm, we can go ahead and at least start on our mangoes. Hopefully our mangoes are good, right? Let's see. A little long knife here. Okay, so I'll turn this on here so you can see what the heck I'm doing. There we go. Come on, mango, be nice. Oh, very, very nice. So the mango pits kind of go lengthwise, so you can just cut nice little pieces like that. And then I like to cut them lengthwise like this and get them out of their skins this way. Just take the knife almost like you're filleting it, just like that. There. There we go. So this is only for 2, so we don't need a ton. Maybe this will be enough mango. Maybe not. We'll use both. Why not? We can use this stuff later. Okay, so we've got that. This is nice and ripe. So I just started using these mangoes because, frankly, I started seeing them in the store recently. Normally we get the big green ones, you know? And these are these champagne mangoes, and they're smaller, as you can see, but they're really, really sweet. And they tend to get ripe better, at least in the stores, than the green ones that I found. So I dig them. I dig them a lot. Okay. Ooh, don't want any skin in there. Okay. So our first thing we're going to want to do here is basically just dice this up. Now mango is very, very slippery. If you've ever worked with it before, it's real slippery, so be super careful when you're cutting mango. I like small dices in everything. You can do something more chunky like that. Makes it go a little bit quicker. Doesn't have to be perfect. There's a nice big piece here. Right. This is gonna be delicious. I love mango. Sometimes just eating one in the morning just because. That's a boring view. How about that? We'll do a little picture-in-picture action there. Okay, so I can smell the stove heating up behind me. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat down just a little bit there. Use all of your senses when you cook. You know, you should be able to smell your pans getting hot, especially a cast iron that's got a thin oil layer, and you'll just be able to smell that. And if you don't have a cast iron, what are you thinking? What are you doing, man? Get a cast iron, please. I even sell these cool shirts, like This Is the Way shirts on my website, 60minutechef.com. And yeah, they're just really, really fun. And so the next thing I'm gonna add in here is some red onion. I'm probably gonna get halfway through this. And then start on the fish. And the rice is probably done, so let's not forget about the rice. Let's check it now. Check the rice. Beautiful. Okay, heat off the rice. Rice is done. I'm gonna go with small little dices of red onion. Don't need a ton here. Now, if you want to kind of kill some of the bite from this red onion, I don't mind it, but if you do, just soak it in some cold water, some cold ice water for, 4 or 5 minutes. And that will take a lot of the bite out of the onion, but I kind of like the bite of the onion. So I'm probably gonna put in, yeah, that's probably good, right about there. Okay. Of course I have recipes, but this is all for feel. And don't ditch stuff that you've cut. That's another little tip I'll give you, because I may need that. I may decide, you know what, I want a little bit more onion, and so I want to have that handy for me. Okay, red pepper. So I think probably just one piece here. We're gonna go ahead and give this a nice small dice as well. Line them all back up. Okay, maybe about half that. All right, save the rest of those little peppers here. Okay, let's come on over to the stove real quick. We can always finish that later. I'm gonna put my fish on. So our pan is hot, and I've got this clarified butter right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put about a tablespoon or two into the pan. Swirl it around like so. Beautiful. Okay, let me grab some tongs real quick, or better yet, this. Okay, I'm gonna take my fish now. I'm just gonna lay it down. You should hear that beautiful sizzle just like that. Now I'm not gonna touch this guy for 3 minutes and then I'm gonna check it. And so, if you're wondering, I have my oven on 300. This is a really, really thick piece of halibut. If you have a tailed piece, it's a little bit thinner. You can probably just finish it in the pan. But I have the oven on 300, so I'm probably gonna put this in after the sear and finish it in the oven because I don't wanna, again, I don't wanna burn that outside crust, okay? So that's cooking there for a few minutes. We're gonna go ahead and finish this up. I like habanero, of course. I'm a spice freak. Anybody who's eaten my food knows it. You don't need much of this, so I'm just gonna dice up a little bit of habanero to put in here. Don't need much, guys. Line it up. Okay. In goes our habanero. You can see it's starting to take shape, starting to look pretty nice there. One of the last things this needs is a little bit of lime zest and some lime juice. So I'm going to zest about half of this lime. One would be far, far too much. See, we get some pretty colors down in there. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. We're going to cut our lime in half. Squeeze our lime. Very nice. Last, I've got some parsley. I'm going to put about, maybe about half of this in here. Of course, don't forget we want salt. Even with a fruit salad like this, you know, we want some salt. It's going to help bring out all those flavors. Get a spoon. Oh, it's smelling really good back there. Give this a nice little toss up. I'll go with a little bit more of that red. Why not? A little bit more onion. Okay. A little taste. A little more salt. Woo! Got a nice little kick there. Oh, that's really, really good. I'm also going to add just a little bit more lime juice. Helps kind of counteract the sweetness from those mangoes because they're really, really sweet. So, you know, you want balance. I mean, really cooking is all about having balance in your dishes. And that's what we're trying to do every time we cook. And it just takes practice. And also, you know what you like, right? Balance for me might be different than balance for you. So, yeah. All right, let me get everything out of the way here. Let's check our fish. Okay, we're about 15 seconds away on our fish. Let's see how it's doing over there. Oh, you can see that spice. It looks absolutely delicious. Let's clean up while we're waiting. Okay, so it's 3 minutes in, and I'm just going to slide this under and kind of check and see. Oh, yeah, it's cooking nicely. Oh, yeah, we've got some really nice color under there. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully turn our fish over. And that's what you should see. It's not burnt. All those spices are almost kind of like baked in to that outer shell right there. So let's let that cook. I'm going to add just a little bit more butter, clarified butter, to the pan. Let that go another 3 minutes and we'll check it. All right. We're back. So what I'm going to do now is, I realize I don't even have any plates. So let me go ahead and clean off this board really quick. Grab some plates, and then, you know, we're going to be plating and eating in no time. All right, So our rice is good. At this point, we're gonna uncover our rice, let it steam out, let it air out a little bit, all right? And then we'll fluff it with a fork, which I have somewhere. Yes, do I have a fork? Nope, but I can get one. And go ahead and take those cardamom pods out. You do not want to stick one of those in your mouth. They are very, very pungent, let's say. Oh yeah, this rice looks absolutely beautiful. Let me show you the rice here. Let me show you what we're working with right here. You see our rice? It's just really fluffy. Now it just needs to steam off. Very nice. Okay. All right, fish is going there. Let's get this board out of the way. All right. Trying to keep things clean when you cook. It makes it easier. I'm sure my wife is probably like, do what? You do what? All right. So the last thing we need to do for the rice is we need to put a little bit more of that, some lime zest in there. So I have some left. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the top of that right now with a little bit of lime zest. Kind of accidentally used too much lime in my, I need another lime. I don't think I have one though, so we'll do with what we've got. The cool thing is this rice is already really fragrant, really very aromatic. I'm gonna squeeze some lime juice right into the rice. The rice. Nice. All right. Now the one thing I don't have is I think I need to chop up some cilantro really, really quick. So I'm gonna do that. I've got some cilantro right back here. Sorry, I don't have a view over here, guys. I'm gonna work on getting you a view over here, but let me just chop this up really quick. Let's just take a second. I need more cameras. I need a cameraman or woman, someone. Okay, cilantro in. We're gonna fluff this up really nice. Okay, we're at about 6 minutes on the fish. And let me go ahead and show you where we are on this guy right here. Okay, so I'm gonna check it. Should be, oh yeah, beautiful color. So you can see it starting to fall apart here. This is telling you that it's probably about cooked. This is a very, very flaky fish. You don't want to overcook this. I'm gonna turn this over once more if I can. Maybe I can't, let's see. Okay, woo. That was rather hot. You can see we've got really nice color. It's starting to break apart there. It's just about done. In fact, I don't even think I'm gonna need to hit this into the oven at all. But I'm gonna finish on the stovetop and put it in the oven for just a few minutes while we grab our plates. Okay. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna go grab 2 plates really quick and we'll get this plated up and you guys will see the finished product. Hang tight. Woo. I knew I forgot something. Let's go with, shoot, can't see anything. Fun plate. A couple fun plates here. Brown and gray. Sure, why not? Oh no, blue. Here we go. And I'm back. We've got plates. Okay. Let's go ahead and put all of our stuff over here for plating. We've got our rice ready to go. We've got our Gouda sauce ready to go. And some big old spoons here. Use this for our rice, this for our sauce. So organization, guys, that's the key. We want to be organized as often as we can when we're in the kitchen and in life, right? Okay, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and get the rice on the plate here. Give you a little overhead view. We'll build this one first right here. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. All right, we're just kind of, see our nice rice is nice and fluffy. Okay, I'm just gonna make a nice little pile there. I'm gonna do the same for the other dish. Okay, done with the rice. We're going to wipe off our plates. We're making a mess today. I don't know what's gotten into me. Very messy today. It's okay. Everybody can have a messy day. Okay. Even at home, I'm, yes, this much of a perfectionist. It's kind of ridiculous. So, all right, next is going to go the green goddess sauce. We're going to put that kind of right here on the plate. So the fish will kind of just sit right over it. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. And just spread it out a little bit right there. Same thing over here. Okay, got our sauce. Now, we're going to go ahead and pull the fish out. Because we know that is definitely beautiful. It's done. How can you tell a fish is done? Well, a couple ways. You can probe it. About 130 degrees is what you'd want a piece of fish like this. Or, you know, you just cook enough fish and you can kind of tell. You can see it's falling apart. You can feel how tender it is. In fact, you know what? This fish, let me cut it in half, because we're going to cut it in half anyways to plate it. And we'll see if it's cooked fully. Okay. I need a knife. Now, I'm not going to use one of my nice knives in the pan. I normally would not do this. I don't know if you can see this. Oh. Okay, let's try this. I should probably put this on a cutting board, but it's okay. Oh yeah, it's just really flaky. Really nice. Okay, let's get this plated up. Numero uno. Number two. Get this hot pan out of the way. Okay. Okay, so we've got this guy here, and now, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and add our salsa. And I just want to cascade this all over the top. It's adding color, it's adding texture, and it's just going to be absolutely delicious. This is a very summery thing, and it's kind of summer here today. It's like 80 degrees in Columbus, so this is actually very, very appropriate, I feel like. Okay. And last, I'm take a little bit of herbs and just kind of sprinkle them around the plate. There we go. All right. And there you have a summer fish dish with a green goddess sauce. We've got the incredible salsa, the rice. Let's try it though. Let's make sure this tastes as good as it looks, right? Let me grab this plate right here. All right, let me get a piece of this fish. Oh yeah, it's just, look at that. See if you can see that. It's just absolutely beautiful. Let's get it right in the green goddess. That is so delicious. We'll try the rice. Perfect. My recipe for this is on 60minutechef.com. Follow me on Instagram, 60minutechef. Please subscribe here. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos. I'm going to be getting a lot better at it. I promise you. We got these camera setups and just trying to figure it all out. But man, I love to cook. I hope you guys do too. I hope this inspires you. And until we cook again. Time to eat!